And wouldn't it be good, even if I don't care who you root for. You root for Milwaukee, you root for the Celtics, you root for the Hawks, you root for the Lakers, you root for whoever you root for. Tell me that the NBA is not better, is not bigger, doesn't have just a bigger feel in general when the Knicks are at least somewhat relevant. Guys are desperate to go to New York and perform on this enormous stage when the Knicks are 11-39. Could you imagine the attraction for other players if the Knicks were actually a team that was capable of doing anything and winning games? Now, God help me. Because you're a Knicks fan, and this is what runs through your mind. You'll get the 5th pick, you'll wind up with Bol, you'll wind up with Jimmy Butler, and you'll wind up with Chris Middleton. And that will be the result of this horrendous season. But maybe, just maybe, it won't be. Maybe, just maybe, for once, you get Zion. And I got to be honest, I love Zion. He's the guy. I think he's sensational. But if you told me right now, like if you locked it into me right now, Dave, let's make a deal. Remember that show, Let's Make a Deal? I might be dating myself, but Let's Make a Deal with Monty Hall. And it was on even recently on CBS. Let's make a deal. And they would say, here's the thing. You can have this, or you can hold off for another. If the NBA gods came to me right now and said, we will offer you Ja Morant, you will not get Zion, would you take that right now? My answer would be 100% yes. So if I could wind up with either Morant or Williamson, couple that together with the available free agents out there in the NBA, got to be Kevin Durant, potentially Kyrie. Durant's the big fish. If you get Durant and Middleton or Durant and Walker, I could live with it. But if you get that and you're the Knicks, I think immediately you're relevant. Immediately.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
30 minutes past hour number 2, back in the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Let's get back to the phones. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. John, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, man.
What's up, Stephen A?
I'm good. Talk to me. What's up? You live on the air, bro.
Let me get direct to it. The Packers as a whole, that organization, they got lazy because of the talent of Aaron Rodgers. You can see, obviously, all the plays, getting in the playoffs, the using his legs, Hail Marys. Those were all Aaron Rodgers. No coaching, no nothing. That was just straight go out there and play, pick them up, mess them up almost when it came to games where they won or they had to squeeze out. There was no skill or plays really set. So when it comes to that McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers dynamic, that's believable. Because most of the games they play, we as fans or as sports anybody, we watched Aaron Rodgers use his legs, them to get his neck broke. He had to throw this way, back shoulder, down the sideline, tight windows. So we kind of knew, like, the Packers as a whole, when it comes to the McCarthy and the organization, they really was lackadaisical.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something, John. John, are you listening to me?
Loud and clear.
You want me to tell you what the hell I think about what you just said? You right on point, bro. I believe you right on point, John. I got to tell you something. I like that analogy. They got lazy because they knew they had him. Because in successful situations, when you have a superstar, particularly one who grinds and is consistent about getting the job done, what do you usually do with that person? You lean on them to hold a greater responsibility on their shoulders than everybody else.
Now, why wouldn't you see this talent and add pieces like a Robert Kraft or like anybody? Try your best to make sure we keep this man as healthy, arm as straight and as possible, and as less confrontational, whatever this man needs. If he like his water cold, make sure his water is cold. If he like, just because of the simple fact we have a good thing going. So they need to add since Greg Jennings left. I really ain't seen no top flight receiver over there. All due respect to Jordy, we know he got locked up and embarrassed at times. He got injured. Jordy's a good route runner. I said a beast. He don't have not a beast over there.
I got you.
They don't want.
I got you.
Really,
but Jordy was pretty damn. Jordy, I gotta run, man. I appreciate the call, John, but Jordy was pretty damn good. Jordy was better than but other than Megatron, Jordy was damn near better than anybody else y'all had in Detroit. Tell you that much. Even though Golden Tate, I gotta be careful about what I'm saying because I like him. Let's go to Nathan. You're live. Stephen A. What's up?
What's good, Stephen A?
I'm good.
Show, first time caller.
Thank you. Go ahead, man. Speak.
So the Knicks are about to lock up this top five pick, I should say. And next year, if free agency goes well, they could have a starting five of Kyrie. Probably not going to get Zion, but like RJ, Kevin Knox, KD, Mitchell Robinson. I mean, how far could you logistically see that going?
How far can I logistically see what going?
Them, like, next year playoffs.
Knicks?
Yeah.
You saying if they don't get a star?
No, I'm saying if they get Kyrie and KD.
I was getting ready to say, you almost had a heart attack that you would ask such an ignorant question. Because I thought you were saying without a star. Oh, okay. If they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, guaranteed trip to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference playoffs, potentially the finals, but they'd have their work cut out for them.
Okay.
All right? Thanks for the call. Bobby, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Stephen A, long-time fan.
Thank you.
What I was going to say is, I know you love Aaron Rodgers. I understand
Yes, I do.
But I think people give him a pass because he said, well, McCarthy, he only makes playoffs for 11 years. But nobody didn't say, everybody got on Peyton Manning. He had garbage for a defense, and he never missed the playoffs. Ever.
Well, first of all, the last 2 years, Aaron Rodgers got injured. That's number one. So it could have easily been 10-plus years that he made it to the playoffs. He played at 50% last year because he got hurt very, very early. And the season before, he missed an abundance of games because of Anthony Barr and that hit on him. But he had made the playoffs the 8 previous years. So I don't want to hear that comparison because Aaron Rodgers you may have been able to say the same thing about him. What's your other point?
Yeah, but Peyton Manning was playing with a broken neck the last couple of years of Indianapolis.
Let me ask you a question. Did Denver win the Super Bowl because of Peyton Manning, or did they win it because of their defense?
Defense.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
But the first time the whole team fell away.
What?
No, the first time he went to Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos, his whole team
when
collapsed.
they got destroyed by Seattle?
His whole team collapsed.
Yep. Okay. So what's your point?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying Peyton Manning was the reason why they won the Super Bowl. I'm saying when he was in Indianapolis, he always had a horrid defense.
Not always. That's number one. Tony Dungy was there. That was not always the case. That is false. Number one. And number two, again, Peyton Manning is one of the greatest to have ever played the game, and he's got 2 Super Bowl championships on his resume. But there were plenty of times throughout his career where he came up short, and we all know that. And by the way, he had Tony Dungy. He had Tony Dungy as his coach. Ultimately, he ended up having John Fox when he first arrived in Denver. And then the name escapes me, the former coach in Houston that ultimately went to Denver and got them the Super Bowl title before he had to step away from the game due to health reasons, even though he's trying to get back into it now. But I get where you're coming from. I don't understand what you're saying. But I got to go. And I appreciate the call nevertheless. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad brother. And when you look at Green Bay, I don't think you can compare the situation that he's dealing with to the one that exists in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers right now, or comparing that to Peyton Manning's situation in Indy. Let's go to Charlie. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A., thanks for taking my call, man. I'm just interested in getting your opinion on
Gary Kubiak, by the way. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The obsession that people have with Aaron Rodgers, his demeanor, his personality off the field. I'm a lifelong Packer fan. I could care less who he's dating, if he gets along with his brother, if he's bristly to fans and media. I just care that he can shred a defense on Sunday, and he's done that for years. So why are people so obsessed with his personality?
Well, what they're really, really trying to do is put some culpability on his shoulders for the way others have performed around him. That's what they're really, really trying to do.
Yeah, but I mean, as a professional in the NFL, why are people so hung up on?
Because truth be told, that sounds good, but from a human element perspective, it is incumbent and very important to point out that no matter whether you're kids or you're adult, there's always a hierarchy to everything in life. There are players and then there are leaders. Okay? And could Aaron Rodgers be a better leader? Sure he could. But to me, that didn't dissipate the culpability and responsibility that should have been placed on the shoulders of McCarthy, and to a lesser degree, or to as much of a degree, as former GM Ted Thompson as well. All of them had a responsibility to do a better job than they did.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Let's go to Mac. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Mac?
Hey, Stephen A., I got to tell you, I think you are one of the most remarkable hypocrites on the planet, and I will tell you why. Okay. And this is not your average suck-up call.
Hold on. How's it a suck-up call if you started off by calling me a hypocrite, so clearly it's not a suck-up, but go ahead.
Well, just in case you didn't get it. Anyway, you hammer LeBron for being this media hound, okay, when you, without any skins in the game, sit on the air criticizing people. You don't have blood, sweat, and tears in the game. At least he does. All you have is criticism, and you get paid well just to be loud and to go up on other people. LeBron's got skins in the game.
Well, first of all, the biggest hypocrite would happen to be you. Why? Because this ain't your job. It's actually my job. I get paid to do what I do. You're doing this for free towards me. So who's the bigger hypocrite? The bottom line is that I get paid to cover the world of sports, and you can sit up there, and because I love people like you who want to sit up there and talk about me talking. Excuse me, I would tell you the same thing I would tell any player. I would tell you the same thing I would tell anybody. I've been doing this for 25 years, but not television. I wrote for a living. I was a journalist. I covered stuff as a beat writer. I worked my tail off to get to the position where I could sit in front of a microphone or sit on TV and give a critique. Long before I was giving a critique, I had to report. But you got bloggers and you got other people in the media who've never had those responsibilities. You ain't calling them up when they're critical of players. And oh, by the way, I'm not getting personal. I'm talking about the game. So as a sports fan, don't tell me, Mac, that you don't sit home or you don't go to work or you not sit in your car driving or whatever the case may be and come up with a critique about what you're watching or what you're seeing in the world of sports. The difference between me and you is that I get paid to do it. You don't. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Patrick, go ahead.
Hi, Stephen. How are you today?
I'm all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, you made a comment earlier about, I agree 99%, but you made a comment, something about Aaron Rodgers. You wouldn't believe it because Aaron Rodgers never did a press conference about McCarthy.
No, what I was saying, what I was saying is the quotes that were attributed to Aaron Rodgers, he didn't say them to anybody publicly. That's what I was saying.
Perfect. Good. I'm glad you said it because my point for that is I don't think you ever get those because I do believe.
Step back from the mic because you sound a bit muffled. Step back from the mic so we can hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Okay. I believe he's a passive-aggressive leader. And passive-aggressive leaders don't confront people face-to-face, man-to-man. They have a tendency to talk about people behind other people's backs. Mm-hmm. And I think if there's that one piece of his leadership that he can work on from what I'm reading out of that article and what others have said about him, because I agree, he's a bad man. But I think there's a place there for him to grow as a leader.
Okay, there's places for him to grow. Let's not bore our audience with that point. Here's the bigger point: should McCarthy have won more with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback? Come on! Give it up!
I've watched great quarterbacks like Dan. I'm 52. I've watched great quarterbacks.
Come on, man. I don't need a soliloquy. Give me an answer. Answer the question. Do you want to dial tone? You get to answer my question, not your question. Answer my question. Should Mike McCarthy have won more with Aaron Rodgers? Yes or no?
I think they won exactly what they deserve to win.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice day. 888-SAY-ESPN. We got to get on out of here in a second. You're listening live to Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. I'll close out the show with your calls in just a minute. You know what never goes out of style? Surprising a friend or loved one with a buy one, get one free multicolored rose bouquets for $29.99 from 1-800-Flowers.com. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN. Your calls close out the show in a minute with Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.